What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And guess what? Remember that support line that I was telling you, or that resistance line I was telling you about earlier on the 1 hour chart? Wait till you see this. Remember I was saying we needed to close above this? Well, it's not so important that we do it on the 1 hour chart, but I just wanted to show you this so you can see how far we went above this line. But then we go back to the daily chart and check this out. Booyah, look at that. We closed right above the resistance level. And so we just turned this resistance that we have been facing, look how long. I mean, we can go back and back and back. Well, not on here, sorry. We're on the daily again. But yeah, if we go back to the 1 hour chart, this resistance has been holding us back ever since we went from 59,000 down to 30,000. So look at this line. It's been going for so long, and we just closed above on the daily candle above it. And that is huge. That means we just turned resistance into support. So the price is not going to stop going up now. We are on our way back up to who knows what. Hopefully it's going to be 50,000 within the next couple days, and I'm expecting a new all-time high coming pretty soon, guys. But today we are here for the news now. I was going to get to the news earlier, but I ended up going off on kind of a rant and talking about the chart and just talking about the channel in general. So again, I got to close these blinds. I just opened them again to open the window, so sorry about that. So, get back here and let's get into the news because I've been waiting for some of this news all day long. And this is the newest one. I'm kind of glad that I waited because this news came out after when I was going to originally do my news story. So I'm just really happy and excited that I get to share this with you guys and get to go over it as well because this is huge. I don't know, that might take a second to reboot here while I move pages, but here we go. This is what MicroStrategy is planning to do. MicroStrategy to sell up to 1 billion in stock. So what they are doing is selling their stock to use part of proceeds to buy yet more Bitcoin. So they're not necessarily buying 1 billion in Bitcoin. They're selling 1 billion in stock, and they're using part of the proceeds to buy yet more Bitcoin. So who knows how much Bitcoin that's going to be? Is it going to be 100,000? Whatever amount it is good news. And you don't think that people are going to be following behind this guy that is putting so much of his company's wealth into Bitcoin? And, Tesla, saying that he only sold 10% of his Bitcoin. Elon said he only sold 10% of Tesla's Bitcoin to make sure that it wouldn't affect the market drastically, that he could liquidate funds when needed without, crashing the market. Next, Michael Saylor will be holding a bake sale to fund his Bitcoin purchases. On the same day, MicroStrategy, the business intelligence software firm that Saylor runs, announced it had completed the sale of $500 million in bonds to increase its stash of the leading cryptocurrency. The firm said it plans to sell up to $1 billion in stock to buy even more. So maybe he is planning to use it all. I don't know what that headline said. Partially, whatever though. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin trove is so big that owning the cryptocurrency is now described in the company's filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, as being part of a key part of the firm's strategy. As of last week, the company held 92,079 Bitcoin, worth about 3.68 billion at the time of writing. With his latest capital raises, Saylor could bring that total to the north of $5 billion. Saylor's latest buying spree comes as Bitcoin has lost more than a third of its value in the last month. It actually lost half of its value because it was at 65,000 and it dropped to 30,000. So that might be a little bit more than a month. So that might be why they say that. But this is huge. I mean, this news came out at the perfect time. Doesn't it seem like when the FUD news comes out and the bad news, that it's only bad news that comes out over and over? Like they hold the good news, until all of it can come out at once when the market starts going up. I mean, it just seems to work out perfectly that way. I'm not saying there's some hidden agenda, but I mean, it seems that way, that now the Bitcoin's going back up. This news comes out. Why didn't it come out when it was at 30,000? Wouldn't that have been the best time to put another billion in? Why wait till it went back up to 40,000? Maybe that's part of the strategy to help, because think of it this way, he holds 3.68 billion in Bitcoin already. So if he would have bought at 30,000, that might not have been as strategic because it wouldn't have helped pump the price of Bitcoin up. So what he did is strategically wait for today when the price is already going up from the Elon Musk tweet. And now he's like, cool, I'm going to help make my money more money. That's what billionaires do. That is how people make money. They have their money work for them. And what he is doing is he's making 1 billion more dollars to put in to his already 3.68 billion dollars to hopefully turn that into 10 billion. So what he's doing is investing in his investment, and he did it at the right time. He did it when Bitcoin is going up over 40,000. We're at 40,500 now. Awesome, cool. This is great. A lot of those losses that we had experienced to us diamond handers that held our Bitcoin that didn't sell, we're now seeing our gains start to come back. And I believe that it will be higher than the all-time high here pretty soon. So this news came at a perfect time. But look at Cardano. It didn't lose a lot of its value at $1.57 still. So, I just knew the market wasn't done yet. I knew the bull cycle that we were in just isn't over, because it just doesn't make sense in the timing, in the months, and in the history of Bitcoin back to 2017 with that huge bull market, and even back to 2013. And, so I just think that all of this is very strategical and smart. I would like to pick the brain of Michael Saylor. That'd be cool to get him on my channel one day and just ask him about some of this. I don't know if he can tell me, but I'd like to ask him about some of this stuff, and see what he says about it. Like, are you doing these buys at this money to make money for your money? If so, that's a smart thing. And how do I do something like that to, make my money make money for me? I know I don't have $1 billion to throw around to move a market a little bit or to help a market along, but, maybe one day, right? Be like Bill Gates and give most of my fortune away. That's what I would do, but I would want to make the fortune first. You can't give away a fortune if you don't make it first. So, all right, let's move on to this next thing. This is the news that I was excited to tell you guys about earlier. And we'll get right into it. Billionaire investor Paul Tudor. Ooh, look at that. We got a little ad. Billionaire investor Paul Tudor Jones wants to have 5% of his assets in Bitcoin. Well, that is huge for a billionaire. Billionaire investor Paul Tudor Jones has said that he likes Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier and wants to allocate 5% of his assets into the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is math, and math has been around for thousands of years. And 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4, and it will for the next 2,000 years. So I like the idea of investing in something that's reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. said Tudor Jones in an interview with CNBC on Monday. When asked if he likes Bitcoin at current prices, Tudor Jones, the founder, chairman, and CIO of Tudor Investment Corporation, said, "I know for sure I want to have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, and 5% in commodities. The rest of the 80% allocation would depend on what the U.S. Federal Reserve will do in its upcoming policy meetings this week," said Tudor Jones, "because what they do will have a big impact." So this is crazy. I mean, he's at least putting Bitcoin up there with gold, with cash, and with commodities. So he's saying that Bitcoin, in his mind, is equal to all of these other things, which guaranteed a few years ago he wouldn't have said the same thing. Within the last year, things have changed. Things have gotten really on fire with Bitcoin. I mean, you'd be kind of stupid not to get into it if you're a billionaire. At least to put 5% of your portfolio in it. People like me have a lot more of their portfolio into Bitcoin because I'm trying to make my money work for me. That's what you do. Tudor Jones is already an investor in Bitcoin. Last year, he said he has almost 2% of his assets in the cryptocurrency. It is not clear whether the investor, whose net worth is around $7 billion, has increased his Bitcoin allocation since then. So he already had 2% of his assets into cryptocurrency. And so if $7 billion and he wants 5% of his portfolio in it, that would be around $350 million. So that is just cool. I mean, $350 million isn't a whole lot, for the market, but hey, it's a start. And, how many Bitcoin is that? That's a lot of Bitcoin. So that's awesome. The more billionaires that get involved in Bitcoin, the higher the price is going to go. And because it makes the news as well. It isn't just because of the amount of Bitcoin that they are buying, which actually has a lot to do with it. It is also the news that comes along with it. The good news helps, break the glass ceilings. The good news is what's going to push us past 65,000 up to 100,000 and a new all-time high. So Bitcoin is currently trading above $40,000, a price it reached again for the first time in over 2 weeks, while all of this good information is coming out at the same time. So I just think this is awesome. We have lots of billionaires starting to get involved. If every billionaire and millionaire in the world just bought one Bitcoin, there isn't enough for everybody. So just think of it that way. If everybody gets involved that has money in Bitcoin, there's going to be a Bitcoin shortage quickly. So there's not a whole lot of Bitcoin out there. There's 18 million in circulation right now. And I guarantee there's probably less than 1 million for sale. So I hate that word though, guarantee. I don't know. That's a guess. I'm guessing there's 1 million in circulation, to be bought. There could be more to be bought than that. I don't know. I don't think if you wanted to go buy 1 million Bitcoin, if you had that crazy amount of money and you wanted to buy 1 million Bitcoin, I don't think you could do it. I don't think that maybe in a couple of months or years, you might be able to accumulate that much if the price doesn't go too crazy high by then. But I don't think that it would be possible for anybody else than Satoshi Nakamoto to own more than 1 million Bitcoin. It just doesn't make sense right now. If you guys have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to pick your brains about that. So just let me know in the comments below, or you can check out the Telegram group. We're always talking in there. We're on Express Crypto. We're always talking in there about crypto. I'd like to keep the conversation on my channel just to keep it active. But I do like to shout out EC sometimes because they do allow me to promote my content in there for a fee. So I'll give them a shout out, Express Crypto. I don't recommend their gambling, as you guys know, but everything else there is pretty good. I don't recommend gambling anywhere. Not Express Crypto. I don't say theirs is any worse than anyone else's. It's just I don't recommend gambling. You'll lose your money. They have a cool I don't even want to get into that. Let's get into this. So, Central America Development Bank forms technical group for El Salvador Bitcoin bill. So, we all know the news that El Salvador has adopted Bitcoin as their national currency, alongside the US dollar, because El Salvador doesn't have pesos or their own currency. They run off of just the US dollar. And now they have put into legislation Bitcoin as a national currency for their country. And this is the news about a bank that is technically advising them and helping them along in the process of using Bitcoin as a monetary fund for their country. A multinational development bank will form a technical advisory group to help El Salvador as it implements a law recognized Bitcoin as legal tender. And legal tender just means that it is like our US dollar. It is legal to accept, to distribute, and to purchase with this money anywhere in their country. And you don't have to exchange it for a different currency. You can just buy directly with this currency, so, which means that places have to accept this as their form of payment by law. Anywhere that accepts payment has to eventually, I don't know how long that's going to take, accept Bitcoin as a payment. So at the grocery store, at the bank, everywhere. The government of El Salvador resorted to the Central American Bank for Economic Integration to assist in the process of Bitcoin implementation in the country. The central bank's president, Dante Masi, confirmed in a press conference on Monday. During these days, a technical group will be formed involving members of the central bank, the Salvadorian Ministry of Finance, and the Central Reserve Bank, said Masi. Masi said. It sounded better, said Masi. We are sizing up El Salvador's decision, said Masi, adding that it is something innovative that creates many spaces and opportunities. And it does. It is going to help a lot of the local economy. It's going to help them gain their funds in Bitcoin. And as that Bitcoin grows, the money that they receive for goods, products, and services will grow with it. So when they charge a certain fee for a time and a service or a product, and by the time they sell it, they get the Bitcoin. By the time it settles and everything, it's worth even more money. And it does work vice versa. If the price of Bitcoin goes down, they could lose money. But I think they did this at a very good time and a very interesting time in history and in the development of Bitcoin as a monetary system on the blockchain and on our internet servers, basically. It's an internet of blockchains. That's what I call it. That might not be exactly what it is, but that's what I like to say. So, I just think all this is really cool. If you like all of the information that I had for you today, please smash the like button. If you subscribe to my channel, I will have more information like this. We are doing our 100 subscriber giveaway. As soon as we pass that 100 subscriber threshold, we will have a 3-day registration period to find the winners of the $20 plus for 3 winners plus 2 extra winners. I'm going to be giving out $10 in Bitcoin and 2 $5 altcoins. And then I'm also going to be giving out 2 extra bonuses to people that are going to be active during the live stream. And it will be 3 days after the 100 subscribers that I will do that live stream just like last time. And at that 3-day marker, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are going to have a giveaway for the people on the chat during that live stream. So you're going to want to check that out. You're going to want to be there for the drawing for the 100 subscriber giveaway. And if you guys start putting a lot of effort into smashing the likes and hitting the subscribe button, I'm thinking about just rewarding you guys more. I just really like it that you support my channel and that you guys have been so actively being supportive. I just really appreciate you, and you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin. Bang!